Hello from Southern Ontario, January 29th. The climate change. Polling shows in Canada 80% of people believe that climate change is a real thing. Side note, 80% of the people rolled their sleeves up, and 10 or 11% are still rolling their sleeves up. I know, a little off topic. But 4 and 3 years ago it was trust the science. Now it is just the science says climate change is real. Everything's worse. Hurricanes, typhoons, monsoons, tornadoes, rain, snow, sleet, hail, and dark of night, flooding. Everything's worse. Everything's worse. And yet, the actual science says no. Nothing statistically has changed in pick anything. Forest fires, hurricanes, typhoons, pick one. There is no increase. That's the actual science. The science is being said by politicians and their propaganda parrots in the mainstream media. And the public believes it because, well, we just keep hearing it every day. It's got to be so, right? I saw one of the new influencers on TikTok on about the climate crisis and how real it is. And somebody typed in and said, no, the water level's the same at Plymouth Rock. And then somebody said, no, they moved Plymouth Rock. Well, I don't know if they did or didn't move Plymouth Rock. I wasn't there the first time. You know what I'm saying? But like they didn't move continental Australia. They didn't move the White Cliffs of Dover. You know what I'm saying? And the water level's in the same place. The science says global warming has gone up 1.5 degrees Celsius. But check out the Climate Nexus. A few years back, they changed how they measure ocean temperature. I'm not going to go into the details, and in fact, I'm a little vague now because it's a while ago I watched it, but they changed the depth at which they measure the temperature in the ocean. They went a fathom shallower or something. So they moved the measuring metric, which kind of would account for the 1.5 degrees. You might note a little while back they said, if it goes up 1.5 degrees, the ocean's going to rise. Well, now they say it went up 1.5 degrees, but the oceans haven't risen. I mean, they didn't move the Statue of Liberty either. The real scientists say, well, we're looking, but we don't really see any evidence. The numbers have not increased, again, in any metric you might measure. Hurricanes, whatever the case may be. And in fact, data shows that from, say, 1900 until now, there's a huge margin less of people who perish due to climate. This is due to our social structure and, central heating and stuff, right? The science. The science. It's not trust the science, it is the science. And yet, evidently, it's not the science. It's just political speak. And I'll summate with an example. In the grocery store, the weather's a common and benign topic. I saw a woman checking out in front of me. She says to the person checking her out behind the till, oh, this weather. Oh, yes, this climate change. Doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, not raining, not snowing, warm, cold, whatever. They've got people believing it's climate change is real. Particularly the younger people who haven't seen this before as we older folks have. And I'll summate totally by saying in my early 20s, myself and my peers, we believed in acid rain. The gargoyles were melting off the buildings in New York City and everything was going to turn into an acid slurry. And then I think we believed in the hole in the ozone was the next one because we were 20 years old and that's what they told us. We didn't have the experience of looking back now and saying, well, it was this, then it was this, then it was this, then it was this, now it's this. Anyways, enough said on that subject matter.